So Breya, Etherium Sculpter, she's a fun commander. She's, Esper plus red. Um, I think that she's been outclassed recently. Most recently, of course, by Urza. But also Saheeli the Gifted. She was really, really good. The amount of value, her +1, which is her second ability, which I can't believe is a +1. The amount of value you get out of that is just absolutely insane. So here she is. She's in the deck. The next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control as you cast it. And she puts out servos, right off the bat. So really, I just don't think, I think Breya is fun. She's like a kind of control-y. She can go infinite, a lot of infinite combos, kind of. But in terms of like pure throughput and draw, just like general game mechanics, I think that Saheeli presents more value over the course of the game than Breya does. Since Breya really is trying to assemble combo pieces in a 4-color deck and go off. Whereas Saheeli just is so efficient in what she does. I think that she really has the edge. Urza is Urza's just kind of stupid, just altogether. I'm not even going to bother talking about Urza, really. Saheeli, so I've already shown Saheeli. Shimmermere, you can run Vidalcan Orrery. I run the Shimmermere just because it's 1 less mana. Yes, it's a creature, so it can die. Pros and cons, that's definitely a con. But I like the fact that it's got flash. And that you can flash it in and then have your other artifacts have flash instead of the orrery where you have to play it to give yourself flash, and it doesn't have flash itself. And it's 1 more mana. So I think, that even though it's a creature, it's still kind of worth it. Wormcoil Engine, he's pretty awesome. Death Touch Lifelink, even in EDH, where Lifelink, again, not, what you want to go for, it does help you kind of stay in the game a little bit while you're trying to assemble combo pieces. So it's good. It's also a combo piece itself. Astronaut's Altar plus Wormcoil Engine plus Nim's Death Mantle is infinite. Infinite ETB triggers. So, you can find ways to take advantage of that. Time save. So, you go infinite with this card using things like, what's it called? Thopter Foundry. Sorry, not Thopter Foundry, Thopter Assembly. So there's different cards that will go infinite with this to get you, infinite extra turns or infinite turns. And honestly, even just the pure value of playing it one time, getting an extra turn is typically worthwhile. I like with Breya especially, it's nice because she can make some she can make some tokens when she comes into play. So, she helps kind of accelerate towards being able to use it even in its non-infinite capacity. Next we have Academy Ruins. You pretty much want to put it in most artifact decks. Darksteel Forge. So this one's good. It's expensive, mana-wise, but I mean, hey, making your artifacts indestructible, which includes itself, is so good. It really is. Let's see. Utter End. Instant speed, Vindicate plus Exile. Really strong card. One of my favorite removal spells in white and or black. Hercule's Recall. This card serves 2 purposes. One, it allows you to bring back mana rocks and recast them for value. And then 2, it can help protect your board against artifact board wipes. So there's rare cases where you might use it to, disrupt your opponent, but the vast majority of the time, you're going to be using this card to protect your artifacts instead. Phyrexian Metamorph, awesome card. It's really just an incredible card all around. Everything it does. Copy mana rocks, copy creatures, copy your opponent's stuff. I love the card. Memnarch. So he's kind of non-traditional, or untraditional, I guess. Whatever. He's a little bit niche in his uses. If you can generate infinite blue mana, you can take control of everybody's permanents. So I think that's cool, and I think it's fun. I mean, I think it's a little bit more fun than just like, infinite, like a Reveillard Karmic Guide type combo or something like that. Yeah, it still requires infinite mana. So it's still an infinite combo. But basically, over the course of the game, you can really, the value from this card can really add up by stealing your opponent's mana rocks. It definitely is scary for other artifact decks to try and deal with. But do keep in mind he can easily be cloned by other artifact decks. So yeah, just kind of watch out for that. But overall, he's good. I mean, he can take your opponent's key permanents. He's Memnarch. He's been around for a long time. I think pretty much have an understanding of what he does. Goblin Welder, this card's really, really good. You can sacrifice like Thopter tokens from Breya to bring back crazy artifacts, crazy big stuff like a Darksteel Forge or whatever. I mean, Goblin Welder is an awesome card, definitely a must-have in any Breya deck. Nim Deathmantle. So this is just a combo piece with Ashnod's Altar. It goes infinite with Breya or Wormcoil Engine. So I like it, but it's it's a little simple, a little cheesy, I guess. Yeah, Grim Monolith. I have my other one in my Teferi deck, and oh well. Yeah, you should have Grim Monolith in here. Definitely. Blood Artist. Pretty straightforward. If you're going infinite with Wormcoil or Breya, it helps you win the game. And yeah, the play group I was in most recently, at least, they were pretty casual and were big. You could just use proxies or World Championship deck cards. So I figured, why not? Spine. So Spine is a card that is auto-included in most artifact decks, and I don't really think that it's quite as good as either maybe it used to be or whatever, but I don't know. It's okay. But I think for 7 mana there's a lot of other stuff you'd rather do. Whether it be, comboing out or whatever. I don't know. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's the best card. I just wish there was some other option. I mean, obviously Meteor Golem, you could say maybe is better. But I do like the fact that it brings itself back from the grave if it dies. Mere Battlesphere. So this one also goes infinite with Ashnod's Altar and the Nim Deathmantle. So this is obviously a pretty good card. I like it a lot, and I think I like it more than Pentavis. So I don't think I even run Pentavis in here anymore. I think I ended up just taking it out. Bolas Citadel, new card, and this thing it's awesome. You do want to watch your life, which of course Breya can help with. But yeah, Bolas Citadel is an absolutely insane card. I think that overall this card has not even begun to see its full potential in terms of the abuse that it enables. So it'll be interesting to see some stuff. I actually made a deck on Arena using this. The deck's kind of janky, but it's pretty nuts. I am going to make a video with the Arena deck, my Bolas Citadel deck. I think I only had 2 copies, so it wasn't, I wish I could figure it out, but I mean, I just saw the card and thought I had to, do something with it, and then I ended up buying one in paper as well. Tezzeret. Classic. I mean, this guy, he does everything you want in an artifact deck. I'd say he's I don't know if he's the best Tezzeret. I haven't seen some of the new ones, but he's probably the best Tezzeret. Would be my guess. Mind Stone, it's a mana rock. It's an artifact deck. You know, we like that. Grand Architect. So, Grand Architect is nice, but it's important to remember his restrictions. You know, the fact that you need to tap an untapped blue creature is definitely important for you to remember, because a lot of times, you know, you could do some planning and forget the blue creature clause. It does work nicely with the Breya tokens, of course. Unwinding Clock. This one's really hit or miss. You know, if you get the nice mana rocks out, then you're happy to have it. If you don't, then it's just a dead card. So, you know, I think it's worth it overall, but it definitely can be, you know, can be bad. Pila Pila. What? Why is this in here? I'm seeing untap. I'm seeing 2 mana. So this card screams to me infinite combo. I honestly don't remember. I'll probably see something else in the deck and then I'll remember. So I'll pull it off to the side for now. Sharoom. I like Sharoom. I think that, you know, his time is kind of past, maybe. Unless you're using, you know, the Sharoom Bitter Ordeal combo. So as a combo card, which it does, you know, it does go infinite in this deck as well. You know, I think it's good as a combo card, but in terms of overall value outside of combo, it's really, you know, not so much. Altar of the Brood. I just have enough infinite ETB triggers in the deck where, you know, this card has pretty much reached the point of being useful. So it's in here now. I believe I have Trinket Mage. If I do, obviously I can fetch it off of the Trinket Mage. Fabricate, you know, so we can search for an artifact, put it into our hand, obviously. It's good. Sensei's Divining Top. This probably isn't the deck to put it in, honestly. Of all my decks, this one really doesn't need it as much as, you know, some other stuff does. So I don't know. I'll have to think about if I'm going to keep it in here. It's nice to have. It's definitely useful. If you have out the right cards, you can use it to draw your deck. So I'll keep them off to the side as well and explain that. Orzhov's Signet, pretty straightforward. Thoughtcast, you know, it's card draw with affinity. So I guess I'll specify affinity for artifacts. So yeah, that's a pretty awesome card. Vampiric Tutor, you know. Buried Ruin, I have. It's not as good as Academy Ruins, obviously, but, you know, it's okay. So Treasure Mage, you mainly are going to just use this to search for, like, Sharoom or Wormcoil Engine for combo purposes. You can get Mindslaver for Mindslaver Lock, of course. So, certainly an option. Duretti, so he's really good. Like, he's really, really good. Any artifact deck should be running him if it's got red. He's definitely an auto-include in this deck. He can reanimate big artifacts for you. You know, he allows you to pitch stuff into the graveyard to, you know, A, filter through your hand or cycle through your hand and get rid of the bad stuff, and B, you know, enable reanimate targets, you know, getting them into the grave. So he's definitely really good. Here's a new Tezzeret. Let's see, it makes a Thopter token, and you can pay 0 to draw a card. If you control 3 or more artifacts, draw 2 cards instead. That's pretty good. I mean, the deck definitely struggles with card draw. I would say of all the things in this deck, the worst part about it is card draw by a lot. I just have not been able to figure out what cards to take out to add more card draw to the deck, and I always struggle every single game to have enough cards. So, I don't know. Here's Hedron Archive. It's more card draw. Metalworker. It's typically pretty good in the deck. There's other decks I think it would be better in. You know, obviously just decks that are a little bit more artifact centric, but I think I have enough artifacts in here that most times I can probably tap. I can tap them for like 4 to 6 mana, which is probably a pretty good value. I don't know why I'm showing a Glacial Fortress. It's pretty obvious you should have, you know, mana that's you know, within the 4 colors. Sai, I just got Sai. So I haven't gone to use it, but it's card draw, which obviously I needed, and it makes tokens. So I think that this card is really, really, really good. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Sensei's Divining Top, one thing I will point out, just because it's kind of relevant with Psy. So if you have Bolas Citadel out, you can top swap, activate your Sensei's Divining Top to draw a card and then put it on top, pay 1 life, play it again with the Bolas Citadel effect, and then it'll allow you to make a Thopter token off this. So you can make a bunch of Thopters with Bolas Citadel and Sensei's Divining Top and Psy. Wow, that's a lot of lands in a row. Wow, okay. Here's Padim. Padim's super annoying. You could almost just make Padim your commander, honestly. He's a really good commander. Super annoying to deal with. He's just in here mainly for card draw for me again. And of course, making my artifacts have Hexproof. He's a really good card just all around. So Mechanized Production I have not gotten to use. But, on paper it looks pretty good. There's enough artifacts that I have here that are strong that getting some copies of them would be nice. I haven't really even considered the win the game aspect of it. I don't know if I really understand I feel like this card's kind of ridiculous because you can let the trigger go, and then if I have 8 tokens out, 8 artifact creature tokens, like 8 Thopters that are the same name, apparently I just win the game, is what I'm reading on this card now. I don't know if I'm wrong, but if that's the case, that's like kind of dumb. I just like it because it copies artifacts. Honestly, that's what I think is cool about it. I just see it as value. Saheeli, this Saheeli as well. His card's pretty awesome. Like, this deck makes so many servos and like so many tokens now. I added, because I added Saheeli, I added Psy, which I think is going to work out nicely. And the fact that it makes an artifact become a copy of another artifact or creature you control, like, that's crazy. The fact that you can make it a copy of a creature, that alone is nuts. So Saheeli is really awesome. Yeah, I really like her. Basalt Monolith, it's pretty straightforward. Thirst for Knowledge, because, we struggle with card draw. Basalt Monolith obviously goes infinite with Power Artifact here, so we run Power Artifact. Okay, that's what it was. So Power Artifact with Pila Pila, that would be the combo then. And that would just give you infinite mana of any color. Assuming... So why... Okay, let's think about this, though. It's not going to be infinite mana. It's going to be... You still need something else. Oh, okay, hold on. That's probably what it is. Where'd he go? Where did he go? I think... All right, so let's see. So if we do Grand Architect... So if we make... Yeah, so what we would do is we would turn Pila Pila blue. And then we would... attach Power Artifact to it and tap it for 2 colorless mana, pay 1 to untap it, add 1 mana, and then tap it again for 2. So that's how that combo would work. So yeah, that's a pretty good combo, pretty reasonable combo. It's 3 cards and it's making mana, so it's not like killing anybody right off the bat. It's just making mana. Rakdos Signet and Commander's Sphere I'm not going to show. They're pretty straightforward. Diabolic Tutor. Aethersworn Canonist, strongly recommend this in any artifact deck that you can fit it in because you're going to need it. People, cards, value. I don't like Cascade. I really hate Cascade. I really hate Cascade decks, especially. So I like having stuff like that. Enlightened Tutor, pretty straightforward. We know what he does. Scrap Trawler. I'm not sure about this card yet. So my problem is that, obviously it returns it if it has a lesser converted mana cost. So it really only... I don't know. I think it's a little bit too restrictive in what it does, but I could be wrong. I'll make sure you run like Ancient Den, like all those artifact lands, Chromatic Lantern, Soul Ring, Ashnod's Altar. Ashnod's Altar you need for the infinite combos, of course, and really it's just so much value. Winter Orb, it's a little scummy, honestly. It is. I get that. I don't really care. Because this deck gets targeted really heavily, so you got to slow your opponents down somehow. And that's really the way to do it. Master Transmuter. I haven't really seen many people running this card anymore, but I still think it's worth having. I loved it back in Conflux. God, I remember having it in Limited with like Aethershorn Shield Mages and stuff like that. And sometimes we do like an Alara Reborn with Conflux and stuff drafts. This card is really strong. I really just love this card all around. So I definitely recommend running it. It helps you protect things both from like board wipes. It can help you recur ETB triggers. So yeah, just all around good card. Storm the Vault. So I'm actually going to have to read what this does. Let me see. So, I think it flips into a, wow. Okay, so this card turns into a, an Academy, Tolarian Academy, basically. So there's nothing okay with that. How do we get it? How do we trigger it again? Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, make a colorless treasure artifact token with sack it, add one color to mana of any color to mana pool at the beginning of your upkeep. What? At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 5 or more artifacts, transform it. So not like treasure tokens, just 5 or more artifacts. So basically, you play it and you get in like a free Tolarian Academy. So that's pretty cool. In decks where like you have artifacts, which this does. Lightning Greaves, because people, angry people. Lion's Eye Diamond. It's like nice value and stuff, but honestly, I'm just a scumbag. So I typically just run it with Auriok Salvagers and Bomberman combo. It works nicely. It gives you infinite mana of any colors that you want, basically. You do lose your hand in the process, but you can like use it with Breya to kill everybody. So pretty cool. Demonic Tutor, pretty straightforward. I feel like I already had a Demonic Tutor in here, didn't I? Maybe not. I'll have to look later and see. Anyway, Armageddon, destroy all lands. Yeah, scumbag. I know. She's also a better commander in my opinion than Breya. In fact, I would say that she's probably even better than Saheeli, or at least on par with Saheeli. She's just absolutely nuts. She's basically just Cheerios, like dot deck, like just Cheerios on a stick. I don't know why you wouldn't want to run her. And you should definitely run her in the deck, but she's just good just good to have. Here's Mana Crypt. It's Mana Crypt. It's nice to have, certainly. Arkham Dagson. He's good. You just have to always remember that you have to sack an artifact creature and that you have to search for a non-creature artifact to put into play. Just remember, that weird restriction. It's not bad at all, but just remember it. Don't make any mistakes that could end up, screwing up your play. Vindicate, destroy your target permanent. This is actual Vindicate, since I've used the word Vindicate to describe other spells a bunch. Suture Priest. So this one is, twofold, right? It's protection against the infinite combo Blood Artist combos. And then it's also it's just a way for you to gain infinite life off of creatures coming in. Yes, I know it's not quite as good as running like Blood Artist, but still. In fact, why? I probably could put in Combat Celebrant. I'm pretty sure I have those sitting around. It's like an uncommon. And I think I bought like a playset of them when I saw it. Skull Clamp, it's one of the best card draw engines in the deck. Azorius Signet, skip over. Efficient Construction. I haven't gotten to use it yet. I think that there's enough cards in this deck that do the exact same thing to make this card somewhat redundant and probably inefficient compared to them. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it in the deck. I may end up just taking it out for something else. Like, for example, Combat Celebrant as another one of those effects. And then, of course, last we have a Swan Song. 1 mana, counter spells that can disrupt a lot of combos are good. A lot of people, the non-restrictive mana requirements of 1 blue give you a lot of options against a lot of people and can really mess them up. So I think it's worth running. As far as the deck goes, again, I think that the Saheeli Planeswalker and I think that Joyra, the new one, are both probably slightly better commanders if you want a more streamlined and linear gameplay. This one, you kind of have to see what you got and figure out how to make it work. So it's fun from that perspective. But I think I do need to try and take out a few of the less efficient cards and either put stuff in to increase the consistency of the deck or maybe add another combo or just some other haymakers. Because again, like the Spine of Ishsa, I don't know. I really just don't think it's worth having in there. So we'll have to see. But yeah, fun deck. The 4-color mana base is really tough. This one actually does have all the duels in it that are needed, all the shocks. I don't have that many fetches in it, unfortunately. I really do need to put more in. Yeah, so I do run like Arcane Sanctum. I do run the tricolor lands that come in tapped. Even though they come in tapped, I think it's still important to do in this deck. But yeah, fun deck, and hope you enjoyed it.